Hi, everybody. Angel here, and I hope you're doing great. And today I'm super excited to speak with Harriet, and we will get started very, very soon. And we're going to speak with Harriet today about her plant-based vegan journey, her ultra running career, an exciting event that she has coming up as well, and some tips for people who want to go plant-based or vegan. So we will. So thanks for joining everyone who's either live or on the replay. Hi there. How are you?
Hey.
Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Oh,
can hear you. Yeah, yeah.
awesome. Well, thanks so much for
Hello.
taking the time.
No, but thank you for inviting me. It's really funny because I don't know you.
I, I know we've never met. I know I've never met anyone I've actually interviewed, and I've
It's so fun.
interviewed over 130 people,
Wow.
and I've never met them.
You've got to get out in the real life. That's one of the things that I notice right now is that, I've never really been online very much. And when I do talks and stuff like that at the retreats or the festivals, people say, "Where can we find you?" And I always said, "Well, I'm out in the real world. I'm in the mountains running, and but there you can find me here."
There you go.
Yeah. So
Well,
this
thank
is
you. Thank you so much for coming on. I want to say hi to everybody who's joining either live or on the replay. And as people come in, if you want to put your questions down below for Harriet, I'm sure she'll be happy to answer. And meanwhile, Harriet, I have a ton of questions for you. So if you're okay with that, I think I'll
yeah,
just jump right in and get
yeah.
started.
Yeah,
Totally
so I have
awesome.
one question. Somebody asked if it will be recorded. So,
Yeah, it will. Yeah, so I'll
okay.
save it to Instagram Live, and then I will post it in my stories as well. So it will be on
Okay.
Instagram Live, and I will also add you as a collaborator if you want to put it on your page. But it'll be on Instagram.
Yeah, okay.
Cool, cool. So Harriet, again, thanks so much for taking the time. I know you're super busy, you got lots going on, and I would love for you to kind of backtrack and share with us, please, how you started your plant-based vegan journey and how you ended up to where you are today.
Yeah. Oh, it's a long story. No, it's a story that I've been going on since 2010. I was, I don't know, do I have to talk louder or is it
No,
okay?
no,
Like, yeah,
no,
okay.
no, you're perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, okay. It's my first live, so,
No, no
I'm,
worries.
I'm just climbing out of the mountain to go.
Wow.
No, I'm just back from my evening run. So,
Amazing.
yeah, so it's a story that started like 12 years ago. I came, like, I was eating vegetarian, vegan. I'm from Denmark originally, and I grew up in a
Oh,
standard Danish
yes.
potato diet. My parents just gave me potatoes. Like the usual diet in Denmark is 5 to 10 potatoes, a piece of meat, and a sauce. Like that's what you eat. And then in the morning you eat bread, and at lunch you eat bread. So I grew up like this. I was overweight also as a child, like quite, let's say, chubby. No,
Yeah.
I come from a family. I'm sorry if any of them are listening, that they're all obese. So we have like tendency to obesity in the family. We have like really good genes for packing on fat.
Yeah.
We keep it really well. And so I was sort of eating just like fruit once or twice a week, and I thought, maybe this is a thing. I've always, everything I've done is I just came to it very innocently, like, oh, people really, there's this thing called Instagram. Like, I'm a little bit behind on all those things, so I just I saw this video and I thought like of Michael Arnstein that is called the Fruitarian, and he's an ultra runner. He said, "Yeah, I'm just running and I eat fruit and I feel great and I feel like I'm just lifting the mountain." I was like, I'm going to try that, and this is like it was like going on a honeymoon with fruit. I just had like 1 year of fruit bliss. I just started to. So I did like, I think I did a 5-day fast. I said, okay, I'm going to clean out all the stuff. And meanwhile, the fast, I read the 80-10-10 book of Dr. Douglas Graham. And it was just like, as if I got brainwashed. Like, it's like, this is it. I said, okay, I will dedicate this fast to adopting myself. So I how do you say, shunned my parents and their
I know it feels like that.
Their nutritional education that I had all my life, and I said, okay, I'm going to adopt myself nutritionally and have myself as a baby, and from now on this is how I'm going to raise me, you know? And so I'm I started actually. It's very funny. I said, okay, so I just go down. I live in Barcelona. I lived in Barcelona at that time, and in Spain, because you're from Europe.
Yes, well, because some people don't know. Some people don't know where Barcelona
but that's why I
is.
say, actually, it's not Spain. It's Catalonia now. We're Catalan.
Oh,
so
wait, but you're still a part of Spain, though.
Yeah, we are. But people that don't know that in Catalonia, we actually speak Catalan.
I know.
And the official language is Catalan, and they have their own government. They have their own police and stuff like this. So it's like a little mix. But yeah, I live in Barcelona. Yeah, in Catalonia. And I just went down and I bought 2 pineapples, and I was like, okay, I'm going to start this.
You know, the produce is so good in Spain.
So I
it's
just
so
burned
good.
my tongue. I was like, oh, it's so good.
The pineapple.
But it just like, I just thought, this is my thing. I had this with everything in life a little bit. It was like, this is what I like. The running shoes, it's the same. I've been running with the same, like not the same shoes, but the same sort of shoes for the last 15 years. I was just like, this is my shoes, and I just go with that. You know, it's a simple sort of lifestyle, and so I just went on this fruitarian diet, really, and then I read the 80-10-10, and it just made sense to me, like it does to almost everybody that reads it. And I was already a runner then. I did marathons, and I had done also some 100-kilometer runs, and then and what happened was that I started to go out running in the morning, and then in the afternoon I was like, I have to go out and run, and I was like, no, I already ran. So I felt like I recovered so much faster. I recovered like that I could train like double, and I started to run faster. And I must say that what I noticed the most was when after about 7 years of raw vegan, my speed just went, like my athletic performances went really crazy. I said, like I did a race, for example, every year I did a race in Andorra, Spain.
Yes. Uh-huh. No, it's good. It's good that you are really like being precise, because there are people from all over who are going to listen to this.
No, but it's like, no, you say you're from Oregon, America, no?
Yeah. On the West Coast. On the West Coast of the US.
The West Coast. I don't have a clue. I've never been. I've been to Central America, but not.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Costa Rica.
Oh,
yeah, that's
pura vida. Pura vida.
Yeah, pura vida. They actually adopted me as a tica, because I used to go. It's another another story. Let me finish. I have too many
I
stories.
love that.
So yeah, like my health and my fitness performance has really improved so incredible that I went down in marathon. I went down like with 1 hour, and I took 1 hour of my marathon time. Of my 100-kilometer time, I took 1 hour and 40 down. And after a few years, I actually I went. I joined the Danish national mountain running team, and we did the world championships. And actually, it's funny because we were a team of 7, and there was 4 vegans on the team. You know, it's like
that's a lot compared to the average.
Yeah, but it's normal for me. It's like, of course, if we didn't perform very well, because Denmark is the highest mountain in Denmark is 140 meters high. So
not
the
too high, right?
Mountain running world championships, it's a little bit, but everybody lives in Switzerland or Norway. But it was really funny. And I talked to Doug and I said, how come that now after like 7 years, my performances are going improving that much? And I think it's because you finish repairing, no?
Yes.
You sort of finish repairing all the damage we've been doing like for the 40 years before that. And then you can start to just, and also I noticed that I started to eat less, which is really sad because I love eating. Because you don't need those extra calories for repairing the damage, no? So I think it was really like, it's a process. It's a long term. It's sort of, for me, it's a life choice. No, it's a lifestyle that I wouldn't want to change. It's really changed my life. It's from being a normal, even a normal runner, to just thriving and doing those. I think one of the things with the vegan diet, I don't know if you're raw vegan or high raw or just eat a lot of fruit
raw.
vegan.
Raw.
I hope I see now that you're not a sad vegan.
No.
The sad vegans are the ones that just eat a little bit of rice with oil.
No.
No.
Although I started off as a junk food vegan.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's so many different variations of all these diets, but for me, it's really, just eating. It's a simple lifestyle. Also, it's like a minimalist lifestyle in a way, because you don't have to be grown up in a way. I mean, I need to be grown up. I have a company and all, and I have a child, but in the food choices, you can just eat baby food.
Yeah,
and then you don't
very
have
simple.
to say, okay, or be with the children, and then you don't have to say, okay, now it's enough. Now I have to go and eat a steak and drink and smoke. You can just stay with the babies and have fun and play, and it makes that life became sort of a game. No, you stay more childish in a way, and I really like that. It's like I don't go out and train. I go out and play.
Yeah,
I go play in the mountains, and I go a lot of hours, and I go, but so what I said was I did this race in Andorra, and it's a race I've been doing every year. It's 170 kilometers, and you go all around Andorra. It's a small country. It's 170 kilometers. It's 100 miles, no?
100 miles.
Over the mountains, and you go over so many mountains. And I had been doing it for, I think I did it 5 years in a row, this race. And then one year I just became faster. Like around 7 years after I went raw, I just went faster, and I did the race 11 hours faster than the year before. So it's like, and it's a race you do normally in 40 hours or 50 hours. And suddenly I saw all the things that I saw during the night. I got the other version during the day, you know. So it was really, and there
Because you
was
were so much
like,
faster.
how come that
Oh
I went from 56 hours to 40, I don't know what, 45 hours, no? And I started to win races at the age of 45.
amazing.
Like, and it's not about, like, normally I'm quite modest about it, but like in this case, I don't need to be modest because I'm not promoting myself. I'm promoting the diet and the lifestyle.
Exactly.
Because I went to the Danish championships and I became third. And this is what happens to me a lot of times. I do the podium and the other contestants, they're half my age,
Yeah.
you know. So this is what is fun about this diet. Or I have like really good genes, but I think it's really like I'm 48 now. I don't feel, I feel no, my body, of course, I have arthrosis and, you know, things start to get less tight, but to have a childish mind and,
Yeah.
you know,
And the energy. You have
yeah.
such, yeah, you have really just beautiful high energy.
Yeah, no, and I get it from food. I mean, it's really, if you just know everything that I'm doing, I'm building off the grid house with my partner now. I'm working, I'm a professional instrument maker. So I've been making violins for the last 32 years. So this is my day job. I make and restore instruments. So last year I built my own workshop. I had COVID and started to play in the wood, and so we got a piece of land and we started to build. Now we just finished a geodesic dome. That is my partner's music studio. And
I saw something in your Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, incredible things. You know, I've never built, I mean, I built instruments, but I've never built houses before. So now we build houses also. But the thing is that then I have like somebody helps me and we are working all day from the morning to the evening, and then they're really tired and they go to rest and I go to run for 4 hours. And that's the difference, because I don't, you know, and it's not about me. I'm sure this is the diet for sure, because I don't, also you can see that I don't need to rest after having eaten. I can just eat and then go to work or go to training after having eaten. A fruit meal is a little bit more complicated, but it's possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's like really the high energy diet that's now I'm also organizing the retreat, so it's just like add another. I also have to spend time online. I have to go to Barcelona, and good that my daughter is grown up now, so I don't have to take care of her. Yes.
Yeah. So let me ask you, do you think the fact that, you know, you're saying after 7 years, you have actually seen an even bigger improvement? You know how some people say like our whole body becomes renewed after 7 years? Like all of our cells have then already, you know, regenerated into brand new cells completely in those 7 years. And I'm wondering if that is the correlation and the connection that you're feeling in your actual life.
I don't think so.
No.
I think it's by coincidence. It was 7 years. I don't think it's like this thing of renewing every 7 years. But also, I go into the city twice per week. I'm inhaling exhaust fumes, and I think it's just like putting less. And also what I do in the ultra races, I mean, the toughest races I've done, they're like 300-kilometer races, and even though they're in the mountains and it's fresh air, it's not really healthy for the body, you know. So, and I've been doing like, sometimes I do several every year, and or even I think it was 2017 I did 6 ultra races in a year, and of course my body was destroyed the next year. I needed a year to recover, but it was something I was like, okay, let's I want to do this, and I was on the high, and it was fun. So I did it, you know, but then I can see also I cannot go on like that forever. And so I have to moderate a little bit because the body is what it is. I have arthrosis in my knee because I had it since I was very young. And
Right.
but the difference is that the doctor told me when I was 30 that I have to take a medication every day for the rest of my life for the arthrosis because it was already there. And I said no, and he said then you will not be able to walk in 5 years. And that's 15 years ago, and I have the arthrosis. But the problem is
Yeah.
that it only hurts when I walk, so now I have to do everything running.
Yeah.
Literally, it's really like it hurts in a place just on the bottom.
Wow.
That when I walk downhill, it's really painful. So I have to do everything running, and
Oh, I
it's okay.
see what you mean. Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah,
but
but
I can relate because when I went vegan and when I started to increase the raw content,
yeah,
I noticed that the swelling in my left knee went away, the pain
yeah,
went away, all the
yeah,
soreness and stiffness and the creaky noises went away. And
yeah,
also after my yoga practice, I was not tired. I was not sore.
yeah.
I was just bouncing right back. Like before, I would be very, very sore for the full day. And, I wouldn't recover until the next morning or even like not even sometimes, by the time I go for another class. And I realized like, no, I don't even feel it.
Yeah, I have had some like something you can really measure it on is when I do like races that last for several days, because you can see, for example, when I was 40, I thought, how would I like to celebrate my birthday? And I thought maybe to do a race because that's for me it's a party, And I
Yeah.
looked, but it was on a Thursday, so there's not a lot of races. And the one race that popped up was Trans-Tica. So you run across Costa Rica.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
and the race started on my birthday on the 20th of November. So
Oh my God.
8 years ago. And I went for the first time to Costa Rica. And so you run from the Pacific to the Caribbean, really. There's a few stations, and it's actually a race. But so it's a group of people, maybe 50 people. And every night you sleep in schools, and you can just see every day that the people's energy levels, and every day they get up more broken. And me and another girl that was also a fruitarian, we finished the race and then we ran to the bus stop. It was just
I love it.
very, very clear on these races that, of course, you can train. You can train for these races, but I always say you can't really train for it. It's a lot of mental, and the best training you can do is to train really fast, so that when you do the race slower, you can still enjoy.
Yeah.
But so I've been going to Costa Rica every year to run across Costa Rica for my birthday.
That's so
and,
beautiful. I
and
only know the Pacific Ocean. I only know the Pacific side of Costa Rica in
yeah,
Guanacaste up along the
yeah,
coast, and of course, San Jose, the capital.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know the Caribbean side yet.
Well, this is a good way to discover it, because this race really you run through villages with endogen, how do you say?
Yeah, indigenous.
Indigenous people, and they're like standing the children naked in the forest and looking at all these super runners from France with glasses and gloves and stuff. Really they're just like, but it's a really nice, because then we sleep in the schools and we give school material to the children. And I mean, this lifestyle has just given me so many experiences. I did the Polar Circle Marathon also. I went to run on the North Pole. A
Oh
marathon.
my gosh.
This was really because I had a trainer that did ultra runs. Ultra means like beyond. So ultra marathon is beyond marathon. A marathon is 42 kilometers, 26 miles. So ultra, it's really like more than that. So from 27 miles really and upwards. And that's how, for me, it was like I had this trainer, because it's a little bit like with the raw vegan diet. I was like, I was at the gas station, and I saw a magazine that says how to train for a marathon. And I just stopped smoking at that moment. I thought, I'm going to train for a marathon. And I did it with a magazine. So I was like typical unhealthy person. And when I was young, I was smoking, I was drinking, I was making violins. We were all artisan, like craftsmen, you know, with a pencil behind the ear.
I love it.
And
like the architects and the carpenters and the woodworkers.
But it's a sort of carpentry. So I went to the violin making school in England. But I started to do an apprenticeship when I was 14. So it's been something I've been doing since I was 14. I knew this was my thing, but sorry, I'm going to the other way. So what was I saying?
well, let me tell you, I don't know if you saw the comment, but there's a comment in here from someone who says, hi from UK, was watching Graham yesterday and will be in UK Fruit Fest tomorrow.
Okay.
Been on the raw journey 1 year now, still finding educators. Well, I think you found another educator with Harriet.
I've been talking at the UK festival several times. I've been there for many years, and it's great. And I will be tomorrow. They have every Friday. They have a live Zoom called Fruity Fridays, and it's every Friday
with Ronnie. Is that with Ronnie?
Yeah. So actually, I met Ronnie because I was signed up for the Woodstock Fruit Festival. Some I don't know, 10 years ago or something. I couldn't go for family reasons, so I swapped my ticket with Ronnie, and so I went to the UK festival and he went to the Woodstock instead of me, and that's how I think we met at the Danish festival. And it's something I think that's really important, that I went vegan, raw vegan on my own, and then I was on my own for 3 years just with the books and with the how do you say, the CDs, no? I was listening to the Perfect Health, the Perfect Health series of Dr. Graham. I was listening to the CDs,
and now it's on YouTube.
Yeah, no, but the Perfect Health series is still great. The sound is not so good, but you can still listen to it. But I listened to it, I almost knew them by heart. It was just like when you find something that really speaks to you, you just, that's for me, that's it, no, and then for me the real revelation was when I got to my first festival or my first retreat, where suddenly you feel like it's a family, you know, we are together in this, and you're suddenly with 70 other people that are exactly like you, or have been, or on their way to, or they are looking for the same thing. And it was just like, and even when you leave afterwards, and that's why I'm organizing a retreat now, because I was feels like, okay, then I go back home to my home, but you still have all this package of people on your back, no? And even without being on the Instagram, because 10 years ago it wasn't that much.
No,
we were not really. Now it's like, and that's what I said to Doug the other day. I said, I'm going to go and put on some posters, because how did they do 20 years ago, 30 years ago, to have 500 people at the lectures with no internet, you know? So they put flyers and they put posters and they talked, and this was the way. So now we have it so easy, you know, we just sit at home and then we put everything out there. But I said, I'm going to do some old school promoting, and some people saw it.
I love
because it's, then at least you can say you did everything you could.
Yeah. Now you have a question. There's a question for you.
Okay, I'm not looking at the question. Sorry.
No worries. No. That's up to me. Don't worry. I'll take care of that. So the question is, did going raw vegan help you heal from injuries faster? Thank you for the question. What do you say, Harriet?
No, yeah, it helped me heal from injuries. Like even I didn't really get injuries. That it was like I've also been doing runs with the team. So where we're two people running together for maybe 2 or 3 days in a row. And when I remember I talked to this guy and I said, so what do you think is going to help you recover from this race? Because the typical question people say, so why raw? No? And I say, a raw carrot or cooked carrot? Which one do you think is going to help you the best to recover? What is going to give you the best minerals, vitamins, everything you need to repair from this race? And it says, of course, the raw carrot, and or I could even say the pizza or the carrot, you know, to be extreme. What do you think will help you better to recover from the race? And then I say, so why, when we do these races, we spend all this energy and we give it all, and then we start to recover afterwards. I said, let's recover during the race. So it actually happened to me to have a friend that came to assist me at an ultra race, and she came with a suitcase full of fruit. So in every station, she was there with the melons, with the cantaloupe, for example, that are filled with electrolytes. And we looked into the papayas, for example, that has a lot of electrolytes. And all the fruits that are a little bit salty, you know, they're not only sweet. They have a little, so typically they will
with
have
the
more
minerals. You need the minerals too.
And so when you're breaking so much minerals, potassium, it's tough for the body. So it's like, if you can start recovering already during the race, or when you cross the finish line of a marathon, you should not get a medal as the first thing. You should get an orange. Instead of just drinking water, get some minerals in there at the same time, and some sugar and some, I mean, it's everything is in there, really. You can, so of course, yeah, I recover from injuries so much faster. It's like, now, for example, I have a broken toe because I got attacked by a dog 2 months ago, and it bit my foot, and it bit it like so hard that it broke my toe in 2 places. And the doctor said, last week, he said, I would say 1 more month. And as Grant, that is also another raw vegan runner, Grant Campbell, he said to me, yeah, but he didn't know that you are raw vegan.
I was thinking that too. It'll probably take you 2 weeks, you know?
I was running after 1 week. It's still a little bit broken, but they don't, but you can see it when you go to doctors and stuff. They don't, they have the typical healing time, and you go back and you say, this should be okay now after a few weeks, and say, no, this takes months, and they don't really understand why you recover so fast. So yeah, from this,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, no,
so let me ask you a question. So we have another question for you, please, and the question is, do you run in barefoot shoes?
No, I run in shoes. I've been an ambassador for a brand called Ultra for 5 years. I think I was running for Ultra, and they sponsored me, and these are like it's not only minimalist shoes, but they are how do you say, natural running. So they're really broad, and you have room for your feet, for your toes inside. So it's not it's called Ultra, and it's like, I put them on and said, that's it. Now I'm not looking any further. Yeah, I think I have some of them here. It's like, so they're actually foot shaped, you know? Nice. So see even where the toes
they're
should
beautiful.
Be, because what we say always is that our hands are like this, but our feet is like this. So why do they make the shoes like this? They should make the shoes like this, and that's like the Birkenstock and all this. They like, it's foot shaped. What happened after so many years of running with this? Of course, my toes, they spread out. So I can't put normal shoes on anymore. But you know, so no, I don't run barefoot. Also because I have a barefoot with the 5 fingers, and I mean I walk with 5 fingers in my everyday life. I use 5 fingers, but for running, often I run in the mountains and I have roots and stones and stuff, and I don't want them to get caught in between the. So and
The toes.
also often I do. I have been doing some really extreme ultra runs that they are not allowed actually. So we were talking about making them. It's not allowed minimalist shoes because they think it's too extreme, like running through the Alps with minimal shoes. And I actually have once I had some like, because you have to have some quite, how do you say, sturdy running shoes. And so I had my zero drop minimal shoes in the backpack, and I was like, because I wanted to have fun. And for me, it's like, it's the difference between going to work or going to have to play.
Yeah.
So for me, running with minimalist and zero drop shoes and these ultra, they're really light, and I can go out and I can play, and I can, when I say to people, yeah, I ran the Tour de Gian. The Tour de Gian, it's a 340-kilometer mountain race in the Alps. And I say that I ran them with those shoes, and people say like, it's like, but of course I can do it also because I'm not very heavy. If
Right.
you weigh double of my weight, then yeah, maybe it's going
That's
to
a
be a
good
problem.
point.
But I don't actually think so, because I think these shoes, they're so minimalist, so they will teach your body to take care of yourself. When you have like really running shoes or walking shoes that are really well protected and have a good, how do you say, squishiness, no, the
Yeah,
bouncy,
cushion. Yeah, like a cushion.
amortiguation, like the cars, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They will take care of your knees, so you don't feel it until the shoes start to become old, and then you will start to have pain in your knees, and you buy some new shoes, and then you get the bounciness again. And I think with these shoes, there's no mercy. No, if you run with a heel stroke, you're going to feel it in your knee immediately, and so you're forced to run in a lighter way. And even if you're heavy, I think it's much more healthy for your body, because you can. You will learn to protect yourself. Maybe you will be a little bit less fast in the beginning, because you also have to learn how to land your foot. But once you have it, then it's like so much more. Yeah, it's like fun.
Yeah. So we have a comment here, and she's saying, if you're not used to barefoot shoes, wean your way into them. Your skeleton is not used to the different leverage and impact.
Yeah.
Thank you for that comment.
Yeah, that's the thing. You will have to learn gradually to take care of yourself. For me, when I started to run minimalist shoes, I think for 1 year I used them once per week, because it's really tough on the calf muscles in the beginning. So it's sort of like, okay, and maybe 10 minutes, or I took them with me in a long run, and I put them on for 1 hour, and then I think it depends. Some people will just feel great immediately, and they will, but if it's like something that if you feel that it's a little bit tighter in the calves, and then you probably just do it little by little, and take your time. It's like, we're not in a hurry to be like all raw vegan and I run barefoot. It's fine to do it. Everything is on your way.
Yeah, and then we have another comment. Some of those don't work for us flat-footed folk. So people who have flat feet, and this person is saying it won't work very well. Thank you for that comment.
Yeah, I don't know.
We have. Go ahead.
No, I don't know. I have like super carved foot, but I think flat feet or not, you're probably then I would probably start to walk more barefoot to get used to it for a year or two, and just walk as much barefoot as you can for the foot to sort of get used to how to carry the body. And it's funny because I always remember this movie I watched when I was small that was called Winnie Two. It was like about the American Indians. And there was one that says, if you put on the shoes, so how does the feet know where to go?
Amazing.
And I always remember that feeling like if we need to connect also with the earth. I'm not very holistic, let's say.
Right.
I'm a craftsman. I live in the middle of the forest. That's true. I bought a piece of forest on top of a hill, and I live in the middle of nature. But I feel like I would not ever run on asphalt again if I can avoid it. It's really like I can feel it in my whole body hurts when I run on asphalt.
It's not natural. It's not natural at all. Now, there's another question for you, Harriet, and the question is, what do you eat when you compete in ultra races? Thank you for that question. Over to you, Harriet.
I have a lot of, I eat, I don't think it depends so much on what I eat during the race. It depends what I eat the week before, the month before, the year before, the decade before. And that's what prepares me really for the race. So during the races, I don't eat a lot. Let's say if I know the organization, I will, or if I can have assistance, then I would eat bananas, simply bananas and dates. And I also had a raw vegan sponsor for some years that called Life Food that gave me like raw vegan energy bars, but it's sort of just like glues up your mouth. And I did some great experiments with dehydrating papaya, and then I made it into powder, and then I diluted it with water during the races. If there's a banana available that is not too green, then I would just eat that. Often on these ultra races, if they're organized, because some of the races I've done are also like self-sufficiency, then there will be oranges, and instead of taking one orange, I will stay for a little while and just eat like as many oranges as I can, or as many watermelon as I can, and bananas, and just. But I don't eat a lot during the races. Really, it's and it happened to me to just like to arrive at the 300-kilometer aid station of the race, and it's just give me something, and just start to eat marmalade.
So are you mainly drinking? Are you mainly like hydrating like with a fluid during your races, or?
Yeah, I drink water. Yeah, I drink a lot of water, and it's also a distraction because sometimes they're really long. These races can last for like, I think the longest I did was 110 hours, which is really fun because, when you go out running, you have like 56 minutes, 58 minutes. And in this case, you have like 58 hours, 15 hours, 100 hours. It's like, wow. Because I remember when I went running for the first time, I ran 20 minutes without stopping. I was really like, and it's maybe 20 years ago. It's not like that long ago. I was like, wow, I just ran 20 minutes without stopping.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal when you're starting off.
I just ran 20 hours without stopping. Like how, let's say, not say how far can we push the body, but how did anybody tell us that we have to limit ourselves? And that's how. But of course, what is important is we have to grow with the task. So I had many years of just running marathons to sort of prepare the body, and I think that's also why I managed to do it so injury free, because I didn't went like, I'm going to do an ultra marathon for my 50th birthday, like many people do, and they do one and then they will never do anything else. Whereas if you run 50 kilometers per week for 1 year, then you can do it, and then you can do another one 1 month afterwards, and it's about building up. And I think there's also an important part that I think we are natural runners. But if we want to learn to swim, we take swimming lessons. I think it's also important maybe take some running lessons, because
Good point.
if you want to see how wrong people run, then you can go to a 10-kilometer race and you position yourself at kilometer 7 or 8, and then you can see all the different styles and see how not to do it. Mainly, you have the and it's not efficient, and you but I think the most important is to have fun.
I
So,
agree. Now, someone here is saying good info for runners. Another one is commenting on the shoes, and they're saying, I love Ultra shoes for road running. What wide toe box shoes do you recommend for trails? I have only used Salomon because it has really good grip on my Spartan OCR races. Love them, but they are so narrow. So backtrack here. The question really is, what wide toe box shoes do you recommend, please, for trails?
Like, there's no way that my foot would fit into a Salomon shoe like
that's
that.
That's what they're saying too.
That's just too narrow. It's like, it's not going to happen. It will never happen. For me, Ultra have to step it up a little bit for the soles. So what I actually do is, and I can say that now because I'm not sponsoring me anymore, I resole them. So I go to I resole them. We change the sole.
Oh,
and
got
we put like a Mega Grip Vibram. Let me just check if I have one.
Wow, that's interesting. Thank you for these questions and comments. You're getting a whole demonstration here from Harriet, so that's really cool. If you're not following Harriet, follow Harriet. If you're not following me, follow me. Harriet's back.
I'm back. So, for example, this one is the Lone Peak, and it's a great trail shoe. It's really ultra. It's very wide. And then we put a new sole, like vibrant sole on it. And with this, you can just like grab onto the trail.
Okay.
And I mean, the Superior is a great shoe, and Ultra Lone Peak is a great shoe. That's like the two trail models. And but I've also been running with like asphalt shoes in the trails. You just have to control your body a little bit more. You have to maybe go a little bit slower. It's not only about the grip, it's also about the technique. And as always, you have to do more of the stuff that you're not so good at. So like I used to be
get stronger.
I was not very fast running uphill, so I had to start to do a lot more uphill to get faster with that. And
that's beautiful.
But that's
now
about
we have
running.
a couple more.
I can talk about running for ages.
Okay, I'm just gonna ask these last two questions, and then we're gonna go over to talk about your upcoming retreat. So someone is asking, how much training do you do to prepare for races, and how many miles do you run in a week?
I don't run miles, I run kilometers.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't run one single mile. It depends. It depends really. I have a trainer that I had for the last 7 years that sends me the training schedule. Mostly it's like going, when you're a child, you go into a sweet shop. It's like, let's see, what are we having this week? So
you're all excited.
Every Sunday evening he sends me the training schedule, and it's
awesome.
For me it's a great not motivation, because I don't really need that, but it's like doing specific, it's his job to find a specific training that is best for what I want to do. So I tell him I want to do this race, and then he prepares it in a way that I don't get hurt, and because if it was up to me, and I actually started to take this trainer, because if not, I went out to run for 6-7 hours per day, I just like So
I
and it's not very efficient because you just get more and more tired. So I typically run maybe 12, 15 hours per week. I don't count the kilometers because it's mostly mountain runs or the miles. So it's like, it depends how much elevation there is. So it can be, well, mostly I have like one long run of 3-4 hours. And then the other ones are 1.5 hours per day, more or less. Depending on how much work I have, I maybe do 6 days per week or 5 days per week, depends. And yeah, I think and I do it twice per week. I do like how to say, interval training. So you
yeah,
run fast, and run slow, you run fast and run slow, and that's what
yeah.
makes you actually better. You can run 10 kilometers per day for 10 years without ever getting faster. But if you do interval training, the heart is like, oh, right, I have to recover faster, and the heart actually helps, learns to recover faster, and so you get better. And it's getting better for me. It's not about getting faster or doing the race faster. It's about enjoying the race more. The better I'm trained, the slower I can go and enjoy it. No, so in the long runs, many of the training is not like, I can't go out and train for 2 days to prepare. I have done, but to prepare a race for 5 days. But I can go out and run for 1 hour really, really fast and do interval training. And then I will be like so much above my fitness level, will be so much higher than what I actually need during the race. So I can just go run slowly and my body will think I'm walking, or sleeping even. So it's about getting like the body trained to a really high level, and then when you go slower, it's just like, is that all? It's just,
I
this is nothing.
love that.
It accepts whatever you does. So you don't have to run a lot of hours, but you have to do like really quality training for that.
I
Yeah.
love that answer. I wanted to ask you something else, but I did say we would go to the upcoming retreat. So tell us, please, about your upcoming retreat.
So I am organizing the Raw Nature retreat that is going to happen really soon. It's like in 3 weeks. Actually, today it's in 3 weeks, and it's in Spain, Catalonia, in Europe. And it's a retreat with Douglas Graham is going to be the main lecturer, and it will be like a fitness retreat. I decided to do it because I live in the most beautiful place in the middle of the hills, but just like 1 hour from Barcelona airport. So it's really a perfect place. And so I rented this cottage of my neighbor, and we're going to be there for a week. And I'm really designing it like the way I would love to have a retreat. Like if I would have had this retreat when I started as a raw vegan, or even as an athlete, or even just wanting to know, I would want to do this. I've been to many festivals, I've been to many events in Europe, and I have even been to Seattle. I went to Dr. Graham retreats in Cedar Woolley. And it's health and fitness. We did like 6 hours of fitness per day, and I said we can do that fitness. It's a playing, no, because it doesn't feel like work. It feels like playing. And I think many of these terms, like we can take it out of the boxes. You can, like, I never felt like an athlete, for example. When people say, this is an athlete, I always felt like I'm just Harriet, and I go out and run, and didn't like an athlete. It's like so serious, no? And I didn't ever feel like I do sport, but yeah, it's too much fun to be an athlete. Yeah. So anyway, this is going to be a raw vegan retreat with fitness and with Dr. Graham. I'm so lucky that I've been studying with him because I always went out running in groups with people and said, what about the protein, or what about this? And I was like, I didn't actually know. I said, don't worry about the protein. I didn't actually know about it. So I said, I need to know. And so I started studying with Dr. Graham. He has like a mentorship program. and I did 3 years of studying with him to really know
Amazing.
all the nutritional facts, and became great friends with him. And I just said, if I can know just the percentage of everything that he knows, then I would be ready to answer any question. And
So
yeah,
what do you tell people? What do you tell people when they say, "Oh my gosh, I need 150 grams of protein"? What do
yeah,
you say to
I
them?
I show them my muscles, and then I win over them.
I love that.
No, it's really like, and that's also for me. I'm not really promoting the lifestyle. I'm not spending a lot of time online. But when I do the races, I try to make sure that they know that I'm a raw vegan runner. And it happened to me, on an aid station to sit down and just eat a plate of bananas and nuts. And because I eat nuts also, especially during the races, like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh, they don't actually help me. It's just, I think it's mental. I should just eat.
And the
Uh,
crunchiness of it too, you know?
yeah, yeah. And then you see all these guys like really top trains, and they're like ha ha ha, laughing at you, and then you just pass them by, And I've been winning races with 1,500 guys, fitness guys behind me, and I'm like, wow. It's working, no, and then they can't walk the next day, and you can just go out training.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
for me, it's like there's no real secret. If it's not working, you're not doing it right. It's but yeah. So
So what are some of the events that will take place during the retreat, if you want to share that?
yeah, well, we will do like fitness or games in the morning with Dr. Graham. Then there will be food demos. We have a chef Konstantinos, that is a really great raw vegan chef that comes from the UK. Well, he's from Greece, but he comes from the UK. And then we'll have a running workshop. We will have a lot of lectures also well, there will be lectures, everything from 80-10-10 diet, just the basic principles. And then we will have music also, because my partner is a musician, and there's another raw vegan from Madrid coming that is also like professional musician. So we will have some music, and of course we'll have there will be some special surprises in the forest. But yeah, we are living in this natural park, and it's just like there's just paths everywhere. We'll have like the typical Q&A. We do it. It's called walk and talk. So all the we're doing it while we're walking, and we're getting like a tower where you can see to the Pyrenees also from up here. So we're not in the Pyrenees. We're like near the Pyrenees, but you can see. And yeah, lots of fun with sport and fitness. So it's like a little retreat. I'm like as I said, I've been doing instrument making since I was little, and I've had shops for 22 years. So I always seen all these shops that like spend months of renovating, and then they open and then they close after a year. And I said, why didn't they just open and do it like nice and then grow afterwards? And for me, that's the formula. So we start little with this retreat. It's limited to like 20 people. And we will do one now in 13 to 16 of April. And then we do another one in the fall that is almost full, because we started the launch with this one really late. It was my fault. I had too much to do. And I was like, oh, I have to do the website. And so it was really late. So it's people say, yeah, I can't come to this one, but I sign up for the one in the fall, which is like really. And then we're looking into a bigger location for next year, because Spain is really great for the fruit. It's not Costa Rica.
Beautiful.
Of course,
yeah.
But
and a lot of organic too.
Yeah,
They do great organic.
Yeah. more and more organic. I mean, where I live, we are a small community of people, and we have organic produce. We have the fantastic bananas from the Canary Islands.
Oh, yes.
On Wednesday, I'm going to go to the organic wholesales with my frutero. If somebody wants to have a look at my Instagram, you can see photos of the shop where I've been buying fruit for the many
Oh,
last
I
many
saw one. It was really cool. Yeah.
It's the most beautiful fruit shop, and they like several generation of fruteros, like fruit salesmen, no? So they really know their fruit. Like when you can get nectarines in the supermarket, you can probably only get it with them a few weeks later, because they say, no, this is like for tourists. No, we don't sell.
They're
We
not
sell
good
real
quality.
fruit. Yeah, so you have to wait for it to come. But we have some really beautiful fruit, and I think for Spain it's really nice, because it's nice weather. People are nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's going to be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a lot of work. I'm not used to spending so much time in front of the screen, but that's what you have to do to spread this word. And also, I think what Dr. Graham have been doing for people like me, like literally changing my life. No, I at least I can do that. You know, get him.
Yeah. So
Get him to work. Now he's 70.
oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Really? I was just listening to an interview with him the other day. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he's still competing as a almost professional athlete, you know. And like,
yeah, I was listening to an interview. He was being interviewed by Chris Kendall, the Raw Advantage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So originally it was Chris Kendall that was supposed to be the chef for the retreat. And we fixed actually the dates according to his possibilities, but he's trying to get residency in Sweden, so he cannot leave Sweden. So, but maybe for one of the future retreat, it will be him.
He would be
there.
Awesome.
No, yeah.
Yeah, he would be awesome.
So I've been working with him on some of the Danish retreats where he was the chef, and I always sign up for the kitchen, because then you learn also, you know, like all the dishes I do at home, I do them because I worked in the kitchen to learn more than being a volunteer. It's really to learn how to do the thing. So yeah, he's a great guy.
He is.
There's many great people, and I can't wait for the future years. I really want this to be something that is every year, and to see who we will get every year. No, this year is this time is the first one, so we have to start slowly and little, and then we will grow, and then we will get some really awesome people to come.
Yeah, so let me ask you a question. Is there a specific like athletic level and expertise and experience that participants need to have? What would you say to someone who is not sure if they...
Yeah, it's very specific, from 0 to top. For me, there's
I love that.
Everybody is like, we are the human, like the human entire entity, and there's no level required, really. I mean, even for me, when I go out running, people say, I've been doing running workshops for beginners, and people say, I've never run. And I said, well, now you have, you know, even if it's just for 1 minute out of the 30 minutes, now you run 1 minute, and next week you will run 2 minutes, and then we will build in a way that is not like burn and crash, but so there's no minimum limit. It can be like or health. It's really for everybody. And even if you go out walking and people walk slower, then the faster ones, they will just come back. And I think that's beautiful of, like, when you run in a group, some people run really fast, and they can run, and then they will just come back and pick you up, and then they will be behind, you know, because you're a group. So it's not like who arrives first. I've been running with groups of people that, so the fastest one, they ran, and then they stopped to wait for the other ones. And then when the other ones arrived completely destroyed, they have to start again because the other ones say, no, you have to go, and then you can run 10 times up and down, and then when we arrive, you can. So it's like, for me, any level is really welcome, and I love the challenge, no, to make people enjoy and discover that they're able to do things. Like I to take off the limits, no, like I did when I thought my limit is a marathon, but then I took away that limit and I said, well, maybe 125 kilometers, and then I said, oh, maybe 150, and then maybe 200, maybe 200, and then at the end I just said, bah,
No
let's not
limits.
No limits, and each person has his own limits. And there will also be a physiotherapist at the retreat, and we have people coming from America, and we have people coming from Israel and from Sweden, from Belgium, and I don't remember anymore, from the UK. So it's going to be great fun. The main language is English, but we also speak all the other ones, and German. Yeah, somebody from Germany also. We speak German, French.
It's like the United Nations.
Yeah. I myself speak 7 languages, so I can cover most of them.
Okay, I only speak 3. I only speak 3.
Okay.
English, French, and Spanish. That's it.
Okay.
And
well,
a tiny bit of Japanese.
Okay, yeah. But that's already more than some. Yeah, I come from a country with 5 million people, so if you want to speak with more people, you have to speak other languages.
I know. I went to Denmark twice, to Copenhagen, and I don't speak a word of Danish. I mean, I probably could say hello and thank you at that point, and I had no problem. I mean, they were so kind to me, and they would just speak English with me, no problem.
Yeah. No, they speak. Children from 7 years old, they speak English. It's like, yeah. That's
so what keeps you running? What is it that keeps you running at this pace that you have adopted in your life?
It's like breathing, no? What keeps you breathing? This is like where I have so many things going on, and I could spend that time in so many other ways, and I just know that this hour and a half or 2 hours or even 50 minutes, if I don't have more time, it's my time, and I go out, and this is the breath. I need this, and I'm in contact with nature every day. Now it's the spring, so every day I see the little burgeoning of the trees, and I see, oh, now this one is white, and this is starting, and every day it's a new feeling of the outside and a feeling of from the inside also. You can feel, today I feel like this, and really the body is also amazing. You know, I go out running, and then one day I'm like, really, I can't get my heart rate up, and the next day I go out running completely tired, and my heart rate go, and you can feel, you have great sensations, you have bad sensations, feel tired, you feel rubbery, like everything is, so it's like a little bit of a discovery every time I go. Most importantly, like I have this trainer that put the level quite high, because we've also been training for the World Championships, and he knows he can push. And the more he pushes me, the more I will sort of get there. Maybe I can, still become a professional but I already have a job. I will never be professional, but maybe when I signed up with him, he said, what do you want from me? And I said, I want to be one of the good ones, a good runner.
That's
and that
beautiful.
was like my dream. And I remember when some years ago, I actually got to there. I became one of the good ones, and I became an elite runner, standing with the other elite runners before the race, and it just felt wrong. Like it's not my game. Like I prefer
imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Do you think it was imposter syndrome, or is it just something that you just do not want at all?
No, it's really not my thing. I felt all wrong. Like, hey, like saying the things. Maybe I talk too slowly, saying this, not being completely right. I mean, I've always been considered a little bit as a freak because I made instruments and I ran and I had a woman that told me, but so if they already think you're a freak, you are free because they already stamped you. So you can be as freak as you want. You know, you can be
that's
a
true.
freak, a little bit freak. You don't have to worry because you're already stamped like this. But in this, like, in this running elite running world, just didn't feel right. No,
Okay.
so sometimes I just prefer to go like an incognito runner, and then I sort of, they call it Pac-Man, no?
Yeah.
I eat my way up to the, I don't go in the elite box in front of the other runners, but I start in the back, and then sometimes you win, but at least you don't have the pressure, you know. And I've seen so many athletes go down with the pressure because the sponsors, they have to perform, and they just and I had a coach that told me, especially when we trained for the world championship, and so I said, okay, so now I need like a specific coaching for this. And he said, what is it, like you said, what is it that makes you run? What is it that does it for you? And I said, going into nature, getting my air, getting and he said, if it worked until now and it brought you to where you are now, you don't have to change anything. Just keep doing that, because that's my thing. No, it's the nature, it's a feeling in the body. Yeah, I just enjoy it. Like, I would love to do it. Yeah,
I love that. So Harriet, are there any other I don't know, products, services, events, projects that you want to share with us at this time?
Yeah. Well, I would love to, like, I don't know. No. I just want this retreat to be great. I have some friends that also organize festivals, like raw vegan festivals. There's a Dutch fruit festival, the UK fruit festival. There's one in Portugal, the Austrian fruit festival. I think it's really important to go to the retreats, to the festivals, because that's where you really connect to, okay, it's not just me in my corner eating fruit for breakfast and lunch, dinner. It's a movement, and we are together in this.
Yeah.
So
No, I love
just
that.
like go to this and read the 80-10-10 book. For me, that's really like a big. It's a great book, and it makes so much sense. So if anybody haven't read it, please read the 80-10-10 or download it, or you have it even in Audible. You can listen to it Audible while you go out running or walking. So yeah. And there's so much great material available now to, So, but that's it. Eat cherry moya and papaya. They don't sponsor me, but bananas.
I love that. So I know we need to kind of wrap this up. We've been talking for over an hour. So what are the best ways for people to contact you for information, collaboration, questions, and comments?
Well, the tree that is at the end of the road. No. So they can find me on. Now it's different. Before it used to be like that. I was just doing my thing in my world, but now I'm on Instagram as Harriet Run, and also the retreat is on Instagram as Raw Nature Retreat. It's a raw retreat in nature, so it's called Raw Nature Retreat. Or they can have a look at the website, that is Raw Nature Retreat. On Facebook, I'm called Harriet Run also, I think, or Harriet Care. I don't even actually know. So if they want to have a look at the about the instruments, also I have like it's called Harriet Luthier, I think. luthier, it's an instrument maker. And yeah, but mainly it's if you put Harriet run, I will probably pop off everywhere. And, yeah.
Awesome.
And thank
awesome. Well, Harriet, I want to thank you. Sorry?
Thank you for inviting me. And yeah, tomorrow there's Fruity Fridays. So have a look at it. It's running from the UK festival. That is, maybe you can put a link. That is organizing like super event every Friday. There's amazing people talking there, and it's really it's solid. So I will be there tomorrow evening.
Awesome. Yeah, I interviewed Ronnie, I don't know, like a year or so ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so I want to, first of all, thank you so much, Harriet, for taking the time to join us today. I want to thank everybody who asked questions, they were commenting, sending hearts and everything. Thank you so much. If you're not already following Harriet, follow her. If you're not following me yet, follow me. And they're Harriet's shoes. She did a demo for us today on not one pair of shoes, but 2 pairs of shoes. So Harriet, I'm gonna ask you for your final thoughts before we close this out. So what would you like to say to us before you leave your final thoughts, before just to wrap this up and put a bow on it for us, please?
Thank you. Stay fruity. I don't know, all these phrases have already been used, but it's like just eat as much fruit as you can and get out there and move and do. This is a lifestyle. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle, and it's going to pay back eventually, if it's not working, you're not doing it right.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Harriet. I am going to now close this out and save it to Instagram, my feed and stories, and then I'll message you after.
Okay. Thank you so much, and I'm so happy to meet you.
Yes,
I hope
we
will meet in real life.
I know.
Come to the retreat.
I cannot promise that, but it sounds awesome. And
okay,
I hope that
come and organize a retreat at your place then.
Maybe that will work. Yeah. So thank you so much, Harriet, and I will message you in a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.